I want you to meet a very special person. She's a dear friend. Her name is Jean. Now, Jean is a woman who used to sleep with fear each night. But more than anything at this particular stage in her life, she wanted her life back. She was tired of being held captive by fear. She was ready to wear her soul on the outside. I mean, she was really ready to live out loud. And she asked me to work with her as her coach. Here is Jean's amazing story. Now, when we first started working together, Jean was just completing a 6-year learning journey. During those years, she was learning what she needed to become a hospice professional. She devoted herself to developing the necessary skills, character qualities, and spiritual practices to become the best hospice care provider she could be. At that time, her dream was to coach and train other hospice workers. In fact, Jean wanted to start her own business dedicated to growing other hospice workers, overseeing and caring for their personal, professional, and spiritual development. Now, Jean just sailed through her 6 years of training and confidently worked for several years as a hospice professional for a large healthcare network. However, when she began to seriously consider launching her own business, she simply froze. In fact, she was immobilized. She was paralyzed with fear, utterly crippled, stopped dead in her tracks by a very loud chorus of inner critical voices, what we call the inner critic, right? Now, most of us have experienced something like this at some point in our own life. Thankfully, and to her credit, Jean recognized that she was stuck, that she was simply unable to move forward with her dream, with her personal vision. So she reached out and sought coaching for herself. Together, we created a plan. We created a plan just for her so she could delve more deeply into what she needed to do to make the shift, to make that significant difference in her life. We focused on specific practices she would need to cultivate and ultimately integrate into her life. We decided to focus primarily on gratitude and sanctuary. Both of these are spiritual practices, gratitude and sanctuary. Now, Jean's very first task was to confront her fear. She needed to confront that chorus of critical voices. Now, that meant that she had to turn the switch off to actually disengage her chorus of critics. Then she had to commit to escort them, right? She had to escort them right out of her life, once and for all. In addition to other spiritual resources, Jean committed to a gratitude practice that included appreciation, compassion, and forgiveness. When I spoke with Jean to learn about what's happening on her journey, I greeted her with, "Habari gani? Hey, what's the news?" Let's listen as she tells us more, as Jean shares with us a small dose of what matters. She says, "In my practice of gratitude, I learned that appreciation, compassion, and forgiveness have presence. Each of these spiritual practices has a shape, a texture, a weight, and a color, which continues to instruct and guide me." Jean's courageous and loving confrontation of her inner critics took many, many months of dedicated, focused, faithful work on her part. Her focus and faithfulness ultimately led her to a significant breakthrough. During one of our coaching sessions, she said, "Gloria, this is some of the most difficult yet joyous work I have ever done. Now, when Jean wanted to bring closure to her many, many months of working on reparation and forgiveness, she created a ceremony, a very special ceremony of gratitude to honor her past, reinvigorate her present, and celebrate her newfound freedom to now move boldly toward her dream. She gave me permission to share part of her ceremony with you. Here it is. Tonight, I create a ceremony to burn the hateful, negative words of the choir of my mind. I bring forward anyone who has a voice in this choir. One by one, I honor, lovingly thank, and let go of the voices that don't serve to lift me up. As I let go of each voice, I pick up a small slip of paper with that person's name on it. My painful memory associated with him or her, and a positive affirmation to replace the negative, painful memory. Then I burn the piece of paper in a special vessel, my burning bowl. With each piece of burning paper, I release the pain. I release the sadness, hurt, and anger from my spirit and from the cells of my body. With each burning piece of paper, I turn off the volume of a hurtful voice and turn up the voice of my capable, strong, resilient self. With each piece of burning paper, I say these words. In reverence and love, I thank you for your presence in my life. You didn't intend to hurt the soul of my child, but she was injured. She carries your words with her. I know that I'm blessed by the good and the bad, and I pray that the blessings of gratitude will continue to be revealed. Now, I return you into the ground of your life, lived by you. As of today, I am free of your judgments and grief. I am free of the burden within my soul. Then Jean said, I imagine myself putting a rose over the heart and in the hands of my beloveds. After the flame shrinks to a faint glow, I stand in my dimly lit room and I allow my soul to radiate outward for all to see. I am free from the voices of pain, the voices of sadness, hurt, and anger. I am free to believe in my own goodness, my abilities, and my connection to God. All is deep, all is mine. As my spirit heals, I can shine. I will open to the healing of others. I am a beacon of light into this world. Now, over the next few months, and really during the next few years, Jean continued to be blessed by new insights and revelations. And as her journey continues to unfold, she is reminded that new roses will indeed grow from her old wounds. She actually perceives their opening buds in the questions she's allowed herself to live into. What are those questions? Well, here are some of them that she asked herself over and over again. The first question, she said, what reward did I receive from the messages, those old negative, hateful messages that I chose to keep with me all those years? What reward did I receive? Another question, do I want that reward to control my life now? And finally, what spiritual practice will I follow instead? Great questions. Now, there's always a reward when we hang on to things, right, in our lives. So that question, what reward did I receive from those messages all those years? And do I want that reward now to control my life? And finally, what spiritual practice will I follow instead? As Jean continues to enrich her learning about gratitude, she rejoices and revels in the rich harmonies of appreciation, compassion, and forgiveness. One afternoon, while we were enjoying coffee, she shared some of her reflections and learning with me. Gloria, these past few months, I have been very silent inside, just sitting with God in patience and wonder. I am beginning to understand what others see in me. A person with a huge heart, full of love for others. And now, growing in love for myself. She went on to share several blessings. May I continue on this sacred path until I can feel that same respect and love for myself as I have for others, and to feel it with ease and grace. Love that blessing. Here's another one. May I continue to enjoy the full measure of this sanctuary of silence within my soul. And may I continue to celebrate the Spirit of God within me and feel love's holy light within my soul. Beautiful blessings. Beautiful. Shortly after her gratitude ceremony, Jean composed this praise poem to celebrate herself and the healing power of gratitude and sanctuary. I celebrate. I celebrate. I celebrate the Spirit of God within me. My voice sings loud. My voice sings true. My voice sings of me. I celebrate. I celebrate. I celebrate the Spirit of God within me. I feel the light within my soul. I feel the voice of me. I celebrate. I celebrate. I celebrate the Spirit of God within me. I am what I was created for. I am the woman. I am a woman of size. I am ego-free. I celebrate. I celebrate. I celebrate the Spirit of God within me. I am free. I am free of the voices within me. There is only room for me. I celebrate. I celebrate. I celebrate the Spirit of God within me. Wow. I just love that story. Now, Jean's miracles continue to flow, creating a ripple effect in her own life, in her family, and beyond. Why? Because she said yes. She said yes to God's legacy for her. For Jean, wearing her soul on the outside is something she can do now every single day, no matter where she is or who she's with. Gloria, I can't imagine living my life any other way. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for walking with me on my journey and for helping me dare to wear my soul on the outside.